The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Welcome to Astrology Tea with Nova Char. And on this episode, I'm hopping back into my Love Island bag. Yes, that's right. Okay. We are back with those updates. We're going to revisit, of course, the placements, but we're going to get into those transit updates for the 2026 and what it looks like for some of our cast members for that Love Island season 7. Yes. And on this episode, baby, we're going to get into that threesome. No, not the kind that you would like. Not the kind that you would like, okay? We're talking about the love triangle of Aries, Pepe, and TJ. Now, I know what y'all probably thinking. Like, this ain't really no love triangle. Because, you know, Iris was pretty much done with Pepe when, by the time her and TJ got together. And TJ was kind of off the show when, you know, Iris had got with Pepe. But, I mean, if y'all remember correctly, if y'all remember, when I did their video before, I had said I felt like Iris had TJ in her back pocket, okay? Her being a Scorpio Moon. All right, okay. I'm about to get into it, but before I do, make sure that you go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl if you ain't already. What are you waiting for? And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's get into it. Now, I love how Iris, in her situation, like, she really had, like, the messiest run on the show, just being as how she came in. I mean, we did do that to her. We did. Okay? But then when she, you know, fell for TJ, and then he left, and then automatically she ended up, you know, kind of falling for Pepe, you know. And then Pepe with his situation with Hannah, and then the one blonde girl, I'm trying to think of her name. She's going to be on Beyond the Villa. Graceland. Yeah, Graceland. Her, and then Iris, like, he was running through them. You hear me? He was running through them on the show. Now, out of everybody, TJ kind of kept it, like, real. He kind of just liked Iris, and you could tell even when he linked up with Vanna, he wasn't really feeling her like that. You could tell that was more like a friendship bond, just something to get him through so he can make sure that he made it over to the other side to get back to Iris. You know what I'm saying? It was that type of energy going on. But once TJ left the show, it was very surprising to me, as much as Iris was crying on why she didn't just go ahead and leave with him. Like, I felt like she really liked him. But, I mean, then again, like, hey, they there for some money. So go ahead and get your dollars, Iris. Okay, I feel you. All right. But when she stuck around, I was a little bit confused on how she was going to, like, find a bond that was as strong as the one that she had built with TJ, you know, because her and TJ had built a little strong bond in that little short little time, right? And looking at their charts, I could definitely see why they were so strongly attracted to one another. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But knowing that they were so close to the end of the game, and Pepe was over there by himself, and they did come into the game together, he was easy to fall into, right? And with some of Pepe's placements, it's definitely not surprising to me how that situation came about, okay? So let's get into some of their placements, and we'll just go ahead and break this down. Now, with that being said, our girl Iris is a Gemini rising, and she is a Libra sun. She has a Scorpio moon, as I mentioned before, and she also has her Libra in Mercury. Now, her Venus and her North Node is in Leo. Her Mars and her Pluto is in Sagittarius. Her Jupiter and her Saturn are both sitting in Taurus. Her Uranus and Neptune are both in Aquarius. So that kind of gives you a breakdown of our girl Iris's chart, okay? So let's get into Pepe, okay? La Boo Boo Pepe. Now, I wasn't able to find Pepe's rising sun. However, I do know that he is a Pisces sun, Sag moon, okay? Now, his Mercury, Mars, and Saturn all fall in Aries now. So there is definitely a strict discipline around his rash decisions. Like, so him doing what he did, it's no surprise to me that he's selling Labubus online now. Okay, it's no surprise. Okay, now his Venus, his Uranus, and his Neptune all sit in Aquarius. Okay, his Jupiter sits in Pisces, his Pluto sits in Sagittarius, and his North Node is in Virgo. Okay, so that's our boy Pepe's energy. You know, I'm not going to go too hard on Pepe, you know what I'm saying, because I had a feeling that we was going to be here, but we'll get into that in a minute. All right, so let's hop over to TJ's chart. All right, now our boy TJ has his Sagittarius sitting in his Sun, in his Venus, and also in his Pluto. Okay, now, I didn't get TJ's rising sign either. I wasn't able to find his information. The only reason why I know Iris's rising sign is because she told us, okay? She said it out her own mouth, okay? Now, with that being said, TJ is a Capricorn moon. His Capricorn also sits in his Mercury. His Mars sits in Pisces. His Jupiter sits in Cancer. His Saturn sits in Gemini, as well as his North Node sits in Gemini, and his Uranus and Neptune sit in Aquarius. So those are the signs of the three amigos. Okay. Now, when I did this reading before, I only did Iris and Pepe because at that time they were still on the show, or they had just left the show, but they were still a couple. They hadn't had the reunion yet, you know, so everybody was still together before the reunion, if we all remember correctly, right? But I had made mention on one of my videos that I had to hurry up and get through the videos because I wasn't sure if these couples were going to stay together. And these were one of the couples that I was referring to when I said that. I was really thinking about Iris and Pepe. And the reason was because of the fact that I knew that Pepe's Mars just was not going to play nice with Iris's Scorpio Moon. Okay. Now for my Scorpio Moons, right? Once you lose that trust with them, it's over. Okay. Ain't no coming back. They're not dealing with you no more. If they can't trust you on an emotional level, they are not fucking with you. Okay. I'm just going to put that out there. And when it comes to Pepe, I seen the way that he moved. He really plays into that Aries Mars energy that he has. And that Aries Mars energy is very sporadic. And it does whatever the hell it wants to do. Okay. Now, I thought his weakness was going to be Hannah. Because, you know, they had already did what they was going to do on national TV for everybody to see. Okay, so I thought maybe there might be some unfinished business, but Hannah was like, hell nah, Iris is my girl. I don't even get down like that. You did that, like, yeah, it's over, right? She was cool on that whole situation. I wouldn't have never thought that it would have just been any random blonde hair girl in a hotel lobby. That was crazy to me, okay? And he's sitting up there with a Sagittarius Moon too. She gotta be able to trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like that is what it is. She wants you to be able to roam free, you know, because she does have some of those air placements that allow that, you know, and that fire energy that allow that. However, she gotta know that you know where the hell home at, okay? Now, Pepe's Sagittarius Moon and versus Iris's Scorpio Moon, like that was a nightmare, honestly, for her. Now, Scorpio Moons is like that soul merging, just passionate, deep, you know, emotional depths of, you know, the seas, you know, it gives that energy. You know what I'm saying? It's mysterious. It's also suspicious and very possessive. Okay. It does not do the sharing game very well, and it does not play nice with others. Okay. And is very defiant on the minds. Okay. Very much so. It may not, you know, on the surface, her Libra is going to be very, you know, diplomatic, like, hey, girl, yes. But that Scorpio Moon is like, no, this is mine, okay? And if you ain't acting like you mine, you got to go. Now, Sagittarius Moon energy kind of treats emotions like a vacation. It's fun. It's fleeting. It hates being tied down. It just wants to do what it wants to do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't need all that intense pressure. It wants the freedom to be able to roam free. It wants to be able to, if I really want to deal with you, then that's what I want to do. It wants the freedom of choice every single day. Okay? It doesn't want to commit. We'll find that energy that energy is very similar to an Aquarius moon, okay? Iris is going to feel that. She's going to notice. And I'm sure all that intensity was too much for Pepe's moon. I mean, he just doesn't have that type of energy. I mean, sometimes I know as bad as we wanted to see it work, sometimes everything happens for a reason. I mean, and I feel like TJ was that reason, okay? Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit more about that cheating indicator with that Aries Mars, honey. Okay, so Pepe has a Mercury, Mars, and Saturn all in Aries. Okay, now, I've warned you about this, all right? Aries is very impulsive. They act on instinct, okay? They don't think at all. And when you combine that energy with the Sagittarius Moon, which lacks boundaries, you can get the hotel lobby, okay? That boy wasn't thinking about no consequences at all. He just acted in the moment. And that's what that Aries Mars does. Now, meanwhile, Iris's Mars is in Sagittarius, which trines his Mars, which is why they had fun as friends. But her Scorpio Moon could never forgive that betrayal. Now, once that Scorpio Moon's trust is broken, you are dead to them. That door is shut. The door is closed, okay? Okay, so now let's talk about the plot twist, okay? Now, while she was with Pepe, Iris was seeing TJ for closure. Remember the whole TMZ thing? She had popped up at the hotel and was like, hey, I just want to give you the closure. And they were like, yes, this is what we needed in order to just be friends and leave each other at a peaceful level. And I think they really was going to try that. But something in me she was just too damn happy to see him. That hug was very much given, I miss you so much. Okay. Now, I don't know if Love Island has anything in their contracts to say that the couples need to stay together past a certain time, but after that reunion, child, they couldn't wait to break up. The ones that I knew wasn't going to be together, which was Iris and Pepe, as well as Amaya and Brian, which, I'll have a video about them here in a minute, because I do believe that they're going to be on Behind the Villa too, Beyond the Villa. So these are all individuals who are going to be on Beyond the Villa. So this should be kind of interesting to see how they interact with one another. However, I kind of just felt like this was coming, okay? I really feel like that meetup was Iris's way of kind of setting down that foundation to let him know, hey, I still think about you. You mean a lot to me. AKA, I'm keeping my options open. Now, this is why TJ actually works better, though. I can't really blame Iris because their energies just really harmonize well together, okay? First of all, they have an emotional anchor in their moon sextile, okay? Now, Iris's Scorpio moon is sextile TJ's Capricorn moon, all right? Now, this is the stability that she was starving for. TJ has that Capricorn moon that's just going to give her that stability. It's that foundation. It's that earth sign. And not only is it that earth sign, it's that hard earth sign. Capricorn season comes in the winter. The ground don't get no more solid than that, okay? This definitely gives him somewhat of an emotional discipline. And it gives him a loyalty that makes him very serious. It's hard for him to fake it. That's why when he was over there at the other villa with the other girls, he was coming off a little too strong for them because he was keeping it a little too real. He was being rude as hell, but he was being honest. He was being authentic. And that's what that Capricorn moon actually honestly gives. And he is Sag sun. Oh, all right. Okay, y'all. All right. Now, that Scorpio moon naturally picks up on the fact that Capricorn moon is not going to flip-flop. It is sturdy. It provides that container for that emotions. It allows her to be her in her freest emotional self, as well as their sun signs, even though y'all know I don't really do the sun signs as far as matching up. But their suns even harmonize together with that air and fire element. And since we're talking about fire, let's talk about the fire trend. Now, this is the spark that actually ignites them and kind of draws them in. This is why she had to go see him, okay? No, actually, they got a little bit of karmic glue in their chart, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Hold on. But when it comes to this fire trend, okay, with this aspect, I'm looking at Iris's Venus as well as TJ's Sun and his Venus, okay? Now, while their moons provide this safety and loyalty for one another, those Venuses provide the show, okay? A Leo Venus wants to be worshipped, and a Sagittarius Venus loves to hype their partner up. They look good together, and they share a fiery, passionate love language that makes them that power couple in the public eye. Iris's Leo Venus loves those grand gestures. She loves those big, hype you up type of admiring type of energy. Like Leo energy needs to be, it needs to be admired. It needs to be catered to a little bit. It gives this royalty. It's like, yes, service me type of energy, It wants to know, and it needs to stand out. It needs to know that it's the one and only. And it's very ego driven. So having a faithful partner really hypes that energy up. You know what I'm saying? It really puts it on a throne. And that Sagittarius Venus kind of gives that energy too. It's very abundant. It also gives like royalty energy because of it's very lavish, TJ does not mind dolting and doing those big gestures for his woman. And yeah, he definitely doesn't mind doing it for her. Now, as I mentioned before, they have this karmic glue. Okay. Now, TJ has a Saturn in Gemini. It sits right on Iris's Gemini rising. Now, y'all know Saturn has that karmic zing behind it, and there's a certain responsibility whenever Saturn comes into the room. Okay. Now, this is actually kind of huge. Now, Saturn is that glue. Now, when a man's Saturn touches your rising sign, he feels a responsibility towards you. He wants to secure you, and that's why he waited for her pretty much. Like, this isn't just a fling. This is a contract. I'm not going to say he waited for her in a sense to where he wasn't doing anything, but he definitely kept his options open just in case. Like, he kept that door open, waiting for Iris, especially after that hotel meetup. She let it be known that she still cared about him, but she had an obligation. You understand? She had an obligation. But once Pepe fucked that up, like, okay, it was open season, okay? And that door was kicked right open for her to come through. And anything that he was doing or anybody he was doing at that time, oh no, they was going to have to go because Iris was back. And that's just what it was. Now, since they're all filming this Beyond the Villa right now, let's look at their transits for 2026 to see what's going to happen when the cameras roll and kind of get an idea of the energy of what people might be feeling like come 2026 for them, okay? Now, Iris and TJ are definitely going to go through the public test. Now, one thing about the Love Island fans, okay, I don't know what be wrong with this fan base. Y'all are vicious, okay? A lot of y'all are. Like, I like to say that I love Love Island, the show, and I watch it, but I don't really even consider myself a fan as, some of you. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'm not that's a parasocial type of person. I lavish my energy just as much as I do others, if not more, because I'm with my energy all day. A lot of you will go and go to war behind people that you don't know. And so that's crazy to me. So Iris and TJ, they will be dealing with the public test and people, checking over and doing an examination when it comes to their relationship. Now, Uranus moves into Gemini. Now, this will be hitting Iris's rising as well as TJ's Saturn. So this is going to be a pretty big test in the public eye, right? Now, Uranus does bring chaos and change. This is crossing Iris's ascendant and hitting TJ's Saturn. So their relationship is going to go through a massive rebranding. Okay, that's what it gives. That's what the 1 + 1 equals is rebranding. Okay, they're going to be seen as different. There might be a sudden engagement, honestly, or it might be a sudden break due to, a lot of pressure being put on their relationship. But something unexpected is definite in their relationship. Now, Uranus disrupts the status quo. Now, since they just became a couple, like a few months ago, early 2026 will be a roller coaster for them. They're going to be trying to figure it out. They're going to be trying to figure it out as a couple in front of the whole wide world. And you know how that can be. Everybody going to be watching, everybody going to be critiquing, and everybody going to have an opinion, including my ass. I'm up here with an opinion now. I'm just saying, the relationship is going to be under a microscope. And we all know how that can be for these Love Island contestants. It's crazy. I really be wishing the best for their mental health, because they really do go through a lot. Every single last one of them. I don't care whose team you're on or who you represent. I want all of their mental health to be good. Okay? Because some of these fans be doing the most on all sides of the board, I have to say. Okay? Now, they are going to have to be careful of shocking rumors with that Gemini and Uranus placement that does give that energy, because this could be something that affects their bond. Now, Pepe, he's going to be on his dealing with his villain arc. Like, I feel like it's already started with his villain arc. People are already coming for him. They were very upset with what happened between him and Iris. But, I mean, okay. Pepe has to use his Aries energy very carefully, okay? Now, Saturn is going to be moving into Aries. Now, this is going to be his Saturn return, okay? This is a very critical time for everyone in our lives. It happens between the ages of 28 and 30, typically. Typically that is when it happens. And it's a time of review, okay? Now, Saturn already just gives us tests on a daily basis anyway, but it pays special close attention to us around this time, okay? It literally lights up that energy for us in that area, and our karma's a little extra when it comes to that Saturn return, so you want to make sure that you're playing out that energy correctly. Now, with Pepe having this transit, of course, going through his Mercury, Mars, and Saturn, he's going to be dealing with a lot of restrictions, okay? On the show, it is very likely that they may give him the villain edit. I kind of feel bad for him. I know there's probably some people like, I don't feel bad for him, but I feel bad for anybody who has to go through that in public. Like, we all still human and we all make mistakes. And honestly, when I look at Pepe's energy, I'm not going to say he can't help it, because we all can help how we conduct ourselves. However, he just being who he is, and he just wasn't made for Iris. And I really feel like the right thing happened by her being pushed back into TJ's arms. However it happened, I believe that she's where she's supposed to be now, okay? Now, he's definitely going to get publicly called out for his behavior. They're not going to let that die. They're definitely going to make that a storyline come this show. I just have a feeling. Well, the transits is speaking on it as well. Like, with that Saturn, it's definitely going to bring that issue back up, okay? It's definitely given that he's going to be facing the consequence of his actions. There may even be a Mars to Mars conflict when it comes to TJ. Now, I don't know. It's given that energy might be a conflict. But with Saturn on him, Pepe will likely lose that battle. Okay. It's going to be in honor of TJ. It's going to make TJ look good and make Pepe look bad. So he going to feel blocked and he going to feel frustrated all year. Okay. I don't really feel good about how he's going to be perceived on the show and how the viewers are going to perceive him. And I feel like everybody going to still keep coming for him, but I just want Pepe to get it together. All right. So just to break it down, a quick summary. Pepe was the lesson. Now you got to check those red flags. Now TJ was the investment. Iris Scorpio Moon, her intuition saved her life. She knew to keep TJ close because he offers that Capricorn stability she needed. All right. Now, of course, we are going to watch Beyond the Villa. I wasn't too thrilled about the people that they had on this season's cast, but whatever. I'm going to watch it and see what it has to offer. But Pepe is about to get his Saturn reality check. And it won't be pretty. I can see it in his future. It's going to be not so good for Pepe as far as how they're going to edit him. They're going to really play into what happened between him and TJ and Iris. But y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, Cosmic Cousins. And of course, don't forget to hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next breakdown. Because you know who I got coming next. Nick and Olandria. Stop playing with me, and all. Okay? So yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Bye.